Hey guys, Kelvin Hunt here, Built for Playmakers YouTube channel. Hope you're doing well. Going to be a quick, fun video. Going to get into some crazy Miami fan talk in this one. But basically, there was a conversation on some Miami fan YouTube channel, which I have a YouTube channel, so um, take that for what it is. But whenever you're watching content, you kind of know if it's good content or not, or if guys know what they're talking about or not. But there was some stuff on X or Twitter earlier today where my guy No Highlights. If you're not following him, great guy, great FSU fan, produces a lot of great FSU video content. No Highlights. I'm going to share my screen here and let you see a video that he actually captured and kind of edited to kind of give you some context as to what this Miami guy was talking about. So it's two Miami fans. One of them has some common sense. The other one is absolutely delusional. Crazy, but they're talking about Keon Coleman and if Keon Coleman is elite or not. And so to give you some context, the Miami guy that's delusional basically compares Keon Coleman to Miami's receiver, Xavier Restrepo. Whatever, I think that's his first name. I know his last name is Restrepo. Man, I know every fan base has some delusional fans, but it feels like Miami may have more than anyone else out there, man. But before we get into it, go ahead and like this button, man. Get this out there to more FSU fans. Appreciate all the support that we've had in the past. We're going to be going strong here. We're going to be getting into the Duke game, breaking down some footage on that team coming up. Big game coming up. But yeah, go ahead and like this, and we're going to go ahead and share this so you guys can. Oh man, this is so crazy. So crazy. All right, so I'm gonna play this. Listen to this.
I saw this on the way down. My man says it's time for Flo to admit Coleman is elite. If we had gotten him, our pass game production would be much better. I always admit when I'm wrong. He's so elite. I don't think that at all. What are the stats of an elite receiver? I know my shit.
Listen, red flag anytime says I know my ish. Red flag off top. If you know your stuff, it speaks for itself, right? All right, you see his dude with the Miami hat on the right way is already, and my dude No Highlights is already giving you the arrow, like looking at the dude reaction. So watch this.
And I don't see what y'all seeing there. Keon Coleman, wide receiver, 6'4", 215. He's got 29 receptions, 418 yards, 7 touchdowns with a 14-yard average. Is that elite? Yes or no?
I mean, 7 touchdowns halfway through the season, I think that's pretty elite. That's more than one game.
Yeah, but it could be 3 against a Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck.
Bruh, what are we talking about here?
He had
look at that schedule.
Those are really good numbers.
Okay, now watch this. Xavier Restrepo's numbers. 47 receptions, 574 yards, 4 touchdowns with a 12.5 yards per catch average. Who's got better numbers? Should I drop the mic?
I mean, X has
This fool said, should he drop the mic, bruh?
a lot more catches, but I feel like these.
So who's more like?
I feel like Coleman has made more impactful plays though.
I think that you don't scheme against Coleman, but you definitely scheme to stop. 47 receptions, 574 yards. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. They have a tight end, and then
Bruh. This fool said you don't have to scheme to stop Keon Coleman, but you have to scheme to stop Xavier Restrepo. Oh my God. He said, well, if the touchdowns are against basically he was trying to say like the touchdowns are against nobodies, it shouldn't count. That is the whole premise of well, first of all, why you look, I'm not trying to disrespect Restrepo. Restrepo's a tough guy. He makes some tough catches. He's a little shifty dude or whatever. He can play. He's not a scrub. I give him that respect, because I'm a realist. But he doesn't change the game like Keon Coleman, right? I mean, so he's pulling out stats, trying to compare stats. So if you listen to a podcast, you can cherry pick stuff or whatever, but if you don't have any context with it, right, it doesn't really mean anything, right? So since he wanted to pull out stats, right, then we're going to talk about stats, right? So he said Coleman had, was it 7 touchdowns already? 2 of those were against Clemson, a top defense nationally. Had 3 against LSU in the opener, a ranked team. Defenses are great, but a ranked team. So Restrepo has 4 touchdowns. 2 of those were against a non-Power 5 team in Temple. Another one was against UNC when they were getting their head smashed in and it was pretty much the game was over. What are we talking about here? I mean, yeah, you got 47 catches or whatever, but I mean, if you're not changing numbers on the scoreboard when it really matters against some good competition, which, Miami hasn't played any good competition. I mean, they played the best win they have is Texas A&M, and they got 3 losses. I said it a few videos ago. I was like, everybody's like, oh, Miami might be better. They might be a problem and whatever. Listen, I told you weeks ago after they beat A&M, I was like, A&M is overrated. A&M's defense isn't as good as what people think. Their secondary is trash. And look, we saw North Carolina defense handle Miami. I mean, they beat Tyler Van Dyke up. And he may not even play against Clemson this week. And Clemson's coming off a bye week. And by God, he probably better pray that he don't play. Because if he goes out there, he probably not going to finish that game. Like straight up. Those boys coming off a bye week. And look, Dabo gonna have them boys ready to play. And Miami been talking a lot of smack about Clemson all year about how they lost to Duke and we barely beat them and all this good stuff. They've been talking smack about Clemson, and Clemson's going to Miami, and Clemson's a betting favorite in that game. Miami is an underdog at home against Clemson. Like, what are we talking about here? So when you're talking about guys, giving numbers out there and just, giving raw numbers that mean nothing without any context of who the numbers have come against, that's what Miami fans do, though. That's what they do. And then when you bring, some context and logic to the conversation, then they move the goalpost. That's what they do. So I know this has gotten some traction on Twitter, social media, whatever, but I was like, man, let me just go ahead and get this out there to some more people just so they can see this nonsense. And I mean, this guy literally, he didn't compare Keon Coleman to say Marvin Harrison Jr. or another top receiver that everybody knows. This cat compared him to Xavier Restrepo. Xavier Restrepo, bro. I mean, if we're talking about who's going to get drafted in the first round or two, it's not even a question. I promise you, whenever teams have FSU on the schedule, Mike Elko this weekend, he probably having nightmares about how they going to contain or try to stop Keon Coleman. You heard what Dino Baber said last week. He said, the quote he said was, quote, he said, when God made him, he was showing off. You didn't hear Mac Brown say that about Xavier Restrepo last week? Nope. You didn't hear Jimmo Fisher talking about, oh man, that Xavier Restrepo was a problem out there this week? Nah, look, in all respect to Restrepo, like I said, Restrepo, he can play. He not a scrub. He tough. Shifty little dude. But listen, man, you can't be dog. You can't be comparing, you know what I'm saying, a Honda Accord to a Lambo. I mean, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing, Miami fans. Hey, y'all come get your boy, man. Come get your boy. This is crazy, man. But look, I just want to get that out there, man. Just some entertainment for laughs. Like this video, send it to your FSU fans. Show it to Miami fans. Let them see how delusional they are. Let's get this video over 100 likes. And I got some more content for you guys coming, though, for the Duke matchup this weekend. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.